So the question I wanted to ask today, will the new science behind catastrophe be the answer to the survival of humans as we know them? I want to look at that question, but first we're going to take a deep breath and we're going to see you on the other side. So one of the things that science knows to be true is that people do not make decisions or changes based on fact, reason, or logic. And I know that's a really difficult idea to be expressed within a scientific community. And I'm asking the question today, does the answer to humans' survival lie in these new ideas that we have around climate, around the grand solar minimum, around the possibility of a catastrophic event, or the reality that there are earth changes happening? And I think it's a legitimate question. Do these facts change the outcome for the future of humans as we know them? And my first response is no, because of what I just said, is people don't make decisions or changes based on reason, logic, or fact. What they do make decisions and changes about are what they believe and the identity that they establish within that belief system. And so one of the things I see within this community, which I will tell you I'm very much on the fringe of, and I'm not here to challenge the science of what's going on in this community, but what I see is the willingness to challenge the historical conviction of established truth and fact as we have believed it to be. And we're in a period of unprecedented change right now as so much information is coming out to challenge what so many of us just accepted to be fact and didn't even question. And the flow of that information is just escalating every single day. But the most important component to where we move forward from these ideas isn't what's real or true or when bad things are going to happen, but rather who we are in response to them. And within this community, I see people willing to question what they have been told is true, even in the face of, as Gandhi says, and I think I have these in the right order, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then they win. And so I want to revise that just a little bit for today's discussion, because in this context, when we're talking about a huge catastrophic event or great changes based on weather and climate and food and migration, all these things that are wildly out of our control, is that in the end, for us, nobody's going to win. And the way I look at it is just a test and a trial about who I can be in that process. But more importantly, the reason I'm talking to you is I believe it's time to challenge this idea of what it actually means to even be human. Because I think the fact that we are at this point in time with every system around us collapsing, with every great civilization folding in on itself, with the way that we have moved into these just really strange and perverse directions, in addition to being completely oblivious in Western civilization to basic survival issues like the quality of our food, the quality of our home. We're so busy entertaining ourselves, we haven't been paying attention. My posit, my question to all this is, have we really forgotten, or do we no longer understand what it actually means to be human? And so that's my challenge, and my hope is those of you within the community who have been willing to challenge the establishment of facts about things like, does the sun nova, which is still up for debate. It's not about whether it's true or not. It's that willingness and the courage to question. I think that's the most powerful place that any of us can stand. And it isn't about being right. It's about the desire to know what's best for you within the context, the circumstance, and the culture that you exist in. And this is ours. And what we decide, what road we choose, this is our trial and test. Because someday we're going to be somebody else's ancestors. And we have a choice at this extremely pivotal moment in time about how we want to move forward, whether we want to put our head in the sand, whether we want to be oblivious, or, as I said in that previous video, if we want to really ride this wave out, because it isn't something we survive. It's a test and a trial to decide who we want to be within the context of this experience, whether it's individual as a terminal diagnosis or it's everybody in terms of catastrophe and cataclysm. So that's what I wanted to toss back at you today, just a little food for thought as we move forward with these ideas. Is it enough to just question the science of the earth, or is it time to really question the science of human and what it actually means to be human? Because I believe it's in the answers to those questions that humanity's survival will be found. And that's not something that anybody knows for sure. It's just a journey that we're taking. And that's what we're doing here, and that's what we're doing over at 18 Crossroads. So with that, we're going to take a deep breath, and I'm going to see you next time.